If you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, here's a concept from working in the ER and my research in burnout. And that is the concept of stop taking off the socks. I'll explain. Recently, I was running a code, which is when a patient is in cardiac arrest, and I was running it with a resident who is a doctor in training. In those cases, I allow the resident to run the code, but I'm standing there. I'm right behind them, making sure that all the decisions get made. Because we're talking big decisions, when to use a defibrillator, what medications to give, CPR to try to save this patient's life. At one point, there was a decision that needed to be made, and I looked over and the resident is taking off the patient's socks. I literally said, stop taking off the socks. I need you here with me to be able to stand back, look at everything that's happening, to digest that and be able to make the next best decision. And you can't do that if you're focused on their socks. A couple of days later, I was talking to an executive woman as part of my burnout research. And she was saying how when she gets really overwhelmed, instead of being able to sit back and take a strategic view, she tends to focus in on the little tiny menial tasks that let her check them off, even if they don't move the needle. I realized she was doing the exact same thing as my resident. Here's why. When we get stressed, our brain's natural tendency is to focus on the little tiny tasks that it can check things off, and that feels good. But at times, what we need to kind of force ourselves to do is to stop taking off the socks, to step back and look at everything, to be able to understand what is working, what will move the needle, and what won't.